Welcome back to the second video of the unit 1 that we are going through. Uh, in this particular video, we are going to cover the topics with the sales management and marketing management. Also, we'll see what are the emerging trends that I've been involved with, followed by the sales management process. In this video, we'll also summarize what we have already covered in the video 1. We have seen what is the definitions of the sales management. Sales management is planning, direction, and control of your personal selling, including recruiting, selecting, assigning, supervising, paying, and motivating your sales force team. Then we have seen what are the importance, followed by the objectives that we have seen. Then they are the functions that we try to cover up. Very important topic under this particular module that you are going to look into, and followed by that we'll also see what is the process. Now today's video will start with what is sales management functions. There are the functions that have been involved by the sales management in trying to organize or run a company. Now, first function says designing and managing your sales force. When I say your sales force, here you are trying to establish sales force objective. Now, what are the objectives over here? You are going to plan objectives for your sales force team. Say 1, 2, 3, meeting the targets, trying to fulfill the requirements from the client perspective, also trying to meet the expectations of the company. So they are the kind of objectives that you are going to plan for your sales force team. Designing sales force strategy. There is always a strategy, a plan of action that has been required by you in order to run an organization, in order to coordinate with your sales force team, in order to keep your sales team aware about the do's and don'ts in the team. Determining the size of the sales force. It also have seen that depending on the size of the company, depending on the requirement, the necessity or the need of recruiting the number of sales force team trying to vary from the one company to the other company. When I say managing the sales force, in our very next module, we are going to study all these in detail, but here let me give you a brief idea about each one of them. In terms of recruitment and selection, you are going to recruit the right candidate for the right role at the right time. You cannot try to see that as in when there is a requirement, that is when you either go for your eternal job posting into the company, or you are being dependent on a consulting, that is a third party vendor who is going to recruit people on your behalf for the assigned role, or you providedly have an option of the walk-in. Once the process of the selection is being completed, then you will go through the process of training. Training is a very crucial period for the new joinees in the organization, where you try to understand about the company, about the management, about their roles, about their responsibility that they are assigned with, what are the objective, mission, and vision of the company. After that, they have been assigned duties and responsibilities to them. So as a sales representative, his role is to fulfill the criteria, say about A, B, C, and D. So his role is to see that he gets a proper training, he gets a proper supervising by the senior team, or a buddy up where he's trying to involve and he's trying to learn how things work, either on job training, or you are basically going through the classroom training, or you're going to get along with the project training, where you have been involved with. So these are the different kinds of trainings that is trying to equip these particular individual for their roles assigned. Assigning territories, are territories over here in the terms of sales management means that you are trying to assign a region, an area, or a geographical location to a particular sales representative who is the in charge of this particular region. Then over here, routing is basically trying to look into the involvement of these sales representatives in order to understand their role that is being required. Fixings of sales quotas, here sales quotas over here means to the targets that has been assigned in the sales. Supervising and remunerating to them, you are trying to monitor their work, counsel their work, motivate them, and also trying to pay for the services that they have been rendering to the company. Directing, communicating, evaluating, and meeting help the any sales manager to have a control over the activities that have been performed under him. This is the first function. Second function is the managerial and administrative function. When I say managerial and administrative functions, here I'm going to include all about certain activities that is trying to play, or that is trying to play the role of a sales manager into a more responsibility level, or as a major stakeholder, I would say. Setting sales objective, he is the one who is going to set these objectives for the company. Formulating sales plan is going to plan in advance what has to be done, how it has to be done. Setting terms and policies, the sales manager try to mostly understand what are the terms and policies that have been required. Sales budget, there is always a budget, there is always an estimated amount of funds that have been required to complete the project 1, 2, and 3. So you're going to plan your budget that is being involved into the sales. Then comes the sales forecasting. You're predicting, there is an estimation that particularly this amount of sales is going to happen in the future. Sales analysis is again a kind of the area where you're going to analyze all about your past performances, keeping in mind about the future outcome. Information reporting, here basically you're trying to deal with major kind of sales report or the analysis of the sales sheets, I would say, where you're trying to identify what are the sales that have been taken place in the past. And each and everything is being documented, returned, maintained, monitored, so that at any point in time, if there is any kind of concerns or going back and reviewing certain things, you have your informations in forms of reports readily available with the team. The last other function are the major functions where they have been taken on a scale of how these companies try to evaluate the particular role of a sales management into the organization. First one is market survey. Market survey is very important for us to identify who is our potential customers, where is our potential market, what kind of sales I could try to estimate over here, what is the kind of sales promotion that I can plan over here. Recovery on credit sales. In any company, we have seen that there are always credit sales that usually happens. How are you trying to recover them is again talking about the involvement of your sales manager in this particular aspect. Data bank over here is about the information, the crucial information about your customer. It could be number of purchases that your customer is making, about their personal information that is being saved with you in order to motivate them, in order to transact more number of sales. Image building is again, you are trying to create an image about your product, about your company in the eyes of the customer. Advising the top management, as we have already discussed this in the first video, the top management is always reliable on the sales manager in terms of any decision that has to be taken in the future. Overall selling activities again try to include your direct activities in terms of sales or promotion in terms of sales. How are you trying to motivate, interact with customer in order to make more number of the transactions. Followed by that, we will try to see what is sales management and marketing management. Very interesting concept over here is, before I take you through what is sales management and the marketing management, let us understand the two different area of sales and marketing. Sales over here try to sell a product or a product or a service to the customer that is already being manufactured by the company or created by the company. Marketing over here is trying to meet the expectations of the customer only in regards to satisfy their wants, their needs and demand. When it comes to sales management and marketing management, sales management talks about how are you going to plan, organize, motivate, and control your sales force teams. Also trying to talk about the different selling activities that are involved with. On the other hand, we could see marketing management is trying to do an analysis, planning, enforcement of marketing program only for the satisfaction of the customer. Here, my motive towards the sales management is more towards maximizing the sales, trying to maximize the profit, proceed with the growth and development. However, marketing management try to forms particular cycle where it starts with the analysis, plan, and then it try to implement its marketing program so that it satisfies its customer. Scope over here, sales management is a part of the marketing management. Marketing management on a bigger picture try to holds the sales management as well. That is why I'd say marketing management includes sales management. So in a nutshell, sales management is a part of the marketing management. Objective, like we have already seen or I have mentioned in the previous slide, it clearly says that I want to maximize my sales in terms of the sales management. Marketing management only try to focus on the satisfaction of the consumer wants and trying to make use of the available resources in a best possible way, trying to reduce the cost of production, maximize the opportunities that have been available or the scarce resources that have been available. In terms of process between the both, sales management try to first make the product and then identify it, how to sell it. Marketing management, they try to identify what is the need, a necessity, then they try to manufacture a product and deliver the product to satisfy those needs and want. So you would, I'm sure you're able to understand the difference between the sales management and the marketing management. Inception, you could see that selling starts after the decision of product of goods and services. Once you try to make a decisions of product that is being manufactured or produced, then you try to proceed with the selling. But marketing starts before the decisions of the goods and services. Why? Because their only focus area is to satisfy the customer in the best and possible manner that they would. Sales management is usually try to emphasize only on the profits. However, marketing management does not ignore the profit, but they try to focus a profit on a bigger picture or a bigger platform. They mean to say that I don't want to earn profits in a span of 6 months. I want to earn a profits, a similar returns of the investment that I have made into a bigger picture. Say 5 years down the lane, there should be a similar kind of requirement for my product or services by the customer. This particular image gives you an entire briefing of selling and marketing management. You would see that they are trying to talk about the selling from the factory, and it is end through the profits through the sales volume. The more number of sales volume that I make, there is a more amount of profits that I am earning. When it comes to marketing, that is again, when it comes to marketing, it starts from the market. That is the area where I would try to identify my customer needs, wants, and then I proceed with the different marketing options, followed by the profit through the customer satisfaction. So marketing management is not a one-time role. However, selling concepts are basically a one-time investment where they are trying to make money only through the profits. Now, sales management process, the next topic that we would try to see. Now, the process try to talk about the certain procedures that I've been involved with, where you start with strategic sales planning, understanding the selling function, and then you reaches through the sales goals and structure, building sales competencies, and managing the sales force. So these 5 steps try to cover about your sales management process. The last topic that we would see is the emerging trends or the sales management. First one is the global perspective. Global perspective try to talk about how good or how better that you try to perform without keeping the boundaries in a manner. Now we would see that in this online era of marketing or doing business at an online platform, there are no boundaries at a national level or an international level. It is being called as a global market, where we are able to overcome all certain kind of challenges that were once upon a time obstacles for us to do the business. Now we are able to understand the individuals, their culture, their need, their language, their requirement, their necessity, their income cycle, their demand of the product, and then you are planning to sell your product. That is what is about the global perspective. Technological revolution over here is mean to say that we know that our customers are smart to identify how basically they are going to update themselves with the any kind of technical changes that they come away. Even any kind of pop-up that you try to receive on your mobile when you buy any phone is to update your software. You're going to update the phone in order to experiment, in order to enjoy the latest changes with that particular updation of the software. Similar has happened with the sales management as well, where you are trying to revolve about the changes that is coming your way. How are you going to gather the information, get to know the needs and necessity of your customer, trying to reach out to them via internet, and then try to understand who are your prospect buyers online. How are you going to read them? We have seen that your influence marketing or your Facebook marketing or your viral marketing have tried to take a major turn towards the era of the marketing. Now, customer relationship management have tried to bring in more customers by trying to improving a customer service and trying to bring in the quality that is involved with. They also help us to satisfy or to build long-term relationship with the customers and also our stakeholders, who are our retailers, wholesalers, suppliers, distributors, and also any other kind of agents or brokers that have been involved with. That is how you are trying to get along with the relationship management. Salesforce diversity. We have seen that sales in the traditional were only part and parcel jobs taken up by the men, but now we have seen an involvement of women coming forward to take up their careers in the sales for diversity, and they're also doing it better. Most of the universities, most of the institutes have also come up or introducing different kind of courses that have been available on the sales, that it be supply chain management, logistics management, or you are trying to deal with the customer relationship. You have seen there is various kind of courses, diploma or degree that have come up in by different institutions to introduce or to motivate the sales management. Team selling approach, it is basically being seen that the team player is much more acknowledged in the sales management, because the sales manager seems to be successful only when his team is able to perform as a one, when he's able to going to meet his target. Managing multi-channels, it is not the role of, you have seen that you're only going through a market only through channel A or B. There is a proper involvement, or at times that you have to go through the multi-channel marketing, which is trying to increase your market coverage, trying to customize your selling, trying to lower your channel cost. That is how you are trying to include a majority of your multi-channel. If example, if I would give you, is the Hindustan Unilever company. At a very short span of time, they were able to use the concept of the multi-channel, and they were able to cover the majority of the places across the globe, where they were able to more focus towards the strength and trying to segment their customers easily. Ethical and social issues, we have seen that this also plays a very crucial roles, how you are going to keep up the standards of providing quality products to your customers, trying to advertise your products, keeping in mind the social issues that you're going to face, and also any other kind of legal problem. So this particular chart trying to cover the emerging trends in the sales management, where it keep on updating themselves, either building customer relationship or diversity, or you're trying to create a solution to the technological innovation changes, or trying to create a customer and orientation profile. So these are the emerging trends of the sales management. So with this, we'll come to an end of this particular video, where we have seen the introductions of the sales management, we have seen the objectives, we have seen the functions, we have seen what are the process that have been involved in, what is the difference between sales and marketing management, and finally an interesting topic with the emerging trends in the sales management that we have seen. Okay, with this, we'll try to finish with this particular module. Thank you, everyone.